Very good afternoon, students. It's a pandemic period, and that's what we are taking the online lectures. Myself, Dr. Mrs. Mita Sureshgiri. Today is 19th June, and we are knowing that without practicals, chemistry cannot be explained. This is the now your honors uh, year, and that's what you have to understand each and every term which is required in industries or while doing the practicals. In the practicals, inorganic chemistry has the 70 marks, and the grammatic analysis, it has the compulsory practical. That's what it is having, that lots of importance to understand it clearly. So instead of starting the practical directly, we have to understand first of all which terms are important and how it is to be working with a practical. Let us see one by one. So the analysis, it is to be done in the practical laboratory by means of qualitative and the quantitative analysis. In qualitative analysis, we are making that the quality which is in a pure form, and in a quantitative analysis, we measured in a quantity, and that's what quantity must be uh, important and it should be granted, and that's what the quantitative analysis which is to be having that the two types, that is the grammatic analysis and the volumetric analysis. In volumetric analysis, we are concerning about the volume. That's what the solution which is to be done, or we are to be doing the practical in a liquid state. Whereas the grammatic analysis, we are turning the quantity or the element which is present in the solution form into the pure solid form. And that's what grammatic practical, we are writing the unit of it is the grams per liter, because we are getting the pure solid form. So in whole the world or universe, we are having that the importance of grammatic analysis in each and every sector of the industry. And that's what it is very necessary to understand the terms which are involving in a grammatic analysis. Let us see one by one. So what is the grammatic analysis? Grammatic analysis is a method in analytical chemistry to determine the quantity of analyte based on the mass of a solid. It means, or example, measuring the solids suspended in the water sample. Once a known volume of water is filtered, the collected solids are weighed, and that is nothing but the solid which is to be getting from it. The principle of the grammatic analysis is, the principle behind the grammatic analysis is that the mass of an ion in a pure compound and can be determined. Latter used to find the mass percent of the same ion in a known quantity of an impure compound. And this is the principle which we are doing in every sector to get that pure compound, as much as for the raising of the economy of that industry of the nation also. So as much as the pure product is concerning, this grammatic analysis, it has own importance likewise. The apparatus which are to be involving or which are using for this practical, it is the grammatic flask, burette, pipette, glass rod, furnace, oven, electric balance, the crucible, sintered glass crucible, filter paper number 41. These are the apparatus which are to be using in a grammatic analysis. The steps followed in the grammatic analysis are: preparation of a solution containing a known weight of the sample. Second, separation of a desired constituent. Third, weighing the isolated constituent. And computation of the amount of particular constituent in the sample from the observed weight of the isolated substance. So these are the four major steps which we are following in a grammatic analysis. There are two types of grammatic analysis. Actually, the four fundamental types are there, of which there are two common types involving changes in the phase of an analyte to separate it from the rest of the mixture and resulting in a change of mass. Volatilization grammetry. In this, it involves separating components of our mixture by heating or chemically decomposing the sample. Next, precipitation grammetry. in which it uses a precipitation reaction to separate one or more parts of solution by incorporating it into a solid. Electronegativity, electrometry. Electrometry is a method used to separate and quantify ions of a substance, usually a metal, and thermogravimetry. Thermogravimetry is a method of thermal analysis in which changes in physical and chemical properties of materials are measured as a function of increasing temperature or as a function time. So these are the types of the grammatic analysis. Now what are the advantages? Advantages are if the methods are followed carefully, it provides exceedingly precise analysis. It is used to determine the atomic masses of many elements to six-figure accuracy, and it provides a little room for instrumental error and does not require a series of standards for calculation of known. So it's quite easy to understand, easy to calculate, easy to do it, work it out, and it is a precise analysis which is to be done, and the method is quite easy. So these are the advantages, and most important that grammatic analysis, it has own importance because worldwide it is to be accepted for the pure component. It has some disadvantages also. What is it exactly? It usually provides only for the analysis of a single element or a limited group of elements at a time. Comparing modern dynamic flash combustion coupled with gas chromatography with traditional combustion analysis. Now one of the example which is to be here given, that what is it? An ore is analyzed for a manganese content by converting the manganese to Mn3O4 and weighing it. If a 1.52 gram sample yields Mn3O4, that is manganese oxide, weighing 0.126 gram, that would be the percent Mn3O3 in the sample. So the percentage of Mn, how much it is? See the solution which is to be given on slide. So percentage of Mn2O3, it's corresponding to the 0.125 gram of Mn3O4 into 3 Mn2O3 and twice Mn3O4, that is gram manganese M2O, and 3 per gram Mn3O4, 1.52 grams sample into 100, that is a percent. So it comes that 0.126 grams into 3 into 157.9 divided by 2 into 228.8 and into 1.52 gram into 100. So it comes near about 8.58%. This percentage of Mn which is to be having in the solution, it corresponds to 0.126 gram of Mn3O4, which is to be multiplied by 3 Mn3O4 grams Mn divided by grams Mn3O4, 1.52 grams sample into 100, and thus it comes 0.126 gram into 3 into 54.94 divided by 228.8 into 1.52 gram into 100%. So it comes 5.97% of Mn. Now what is the principle? Exactly we studied that starting, that initiative point, we took that the grammatical analysis principle. So it is that relies on contrast of the masses of two analyte containing compound. The idea behind grammatic analysis is that it is possible to calculate the mass of an ion in a pure compound and then use it to calculate the mass percentage of the same ion in a specified volume of an impure compound. Now what are the applications? That in analytical chemistry, grammatic analysis is a way to determine analyte quantity based on the density of a solid. Example, that measuring the solids suspended in the water sample, the collected solids are weighed until a known water volume is purified. What is the difference between grammatic and the volumetric analysis? Yes, it's very simple. A grammatic feeder is a self-calibrating, speed-based doing device based on weight. On the other hand, a volumetric feeder does this depending on the velocity of volume. using loss in weight technique, which calculates the decreased weight during dosing and weight is estimated. How does volumetric titration works? Yes, here it is. A widely used quantitative computational methodology is volumetric analysis, and thus this approach requires the calculation of the volume of a solution of known concentration, and that is used to assess the analyte concentration. As the name suggests, the end point of the titration is that point at which the color alternation takes place, and this is very important in volumetric analysis. So the advantages of the grammatic analysis, again we will see that analysis allows for a highly detailed analysis if procedures are practiced closely. In fact, to calculate the atomic masses of several elements in the periodic table to six-figure precision, grammatic analysis was used, and it gives the correct answer, and that's what it has its own importance for the purity, as it will give that the economy also. As its principle is, grammatic analysis is based on conversion of ion, element, radical into pure stable form. So, ferrous, it is to be converted into ferric oxide. Its two types majorly: precipitation method, we will see substance are precipitated, and second, volatilization method, that is evaporated solution. The basic of it is analytical solution will be precipitated by using suitable method, and after precipitation precipitate are dried, filtered and then weighed. The advantages of this, it is extensive number of inorganic ion are determined with excellent precision and the accuracy. Routine assay of metallurgical sample, relative precision 0.1 to 1%, so it's quite important for us, and good accuracy, relatively inexpensive. The disadvantages are careful and time consuming. Thus, scrupulously clean glass where it used, and very accurate weighing, co-precipitation it happens. These are the disadvantages. So we have to take care of that, minimize the disadvantages, so we can get more and more pure form, which that most of that important industries they required, and that's what that we have to understand clearly the terms which are used in a grammatic analysis. The application: assay of aluminum by the oxide, that is 8-hydroxyquinoline, which is a complexing reagent, and it is used. Separate aluminum from the beryllium and other earth metal, that is 2 or 5% solution of oxide in 2 molar ethanic acid. 1 molar solution can precipitate 3 milligram of aluminum. The procedure which is here given here, that is a quite that simple example to explain you. But in practical, we have to be having that different practicals of iron and barium, which we will explain, that I will explain it later on, and on that day I will explain clear the example of it. Now for this, that aluminum, we are having that a procedure: dissolve 0.4 gram of ammonium sulfate in 100 ml of water, heat to 70 to 80 degrees, just vaporize, that's it. Add appropriate volume of oxide reagent, it's sufficient amount near about 3 to 4 ml. Keep adding reagents to ensure complete precipitation. Allow to cool, collect alum oxygenate and wash the water dry to content weight at 110 degrees centigrade. Also the barium as barium sulfate. This is the another example. Actually this practical we have done in our practical lab and SYBSc. And you are knowing the procedures, how that crucible is used, how much accuracy is there, why we are to be taking that glasswares which are in a clean in dry conditions, and we are using the while using that digestion or the doing the nucleation, that we are avoiding the co-precipitation also, and the ignition it is to be done in a proper way, as well as the drying is it is to be very necessary. So I think you are remembering these points, but again that barium I took for the your understanding purposes. So the procedure of barium as a barium sulfate: slow addition of dilute solution of barium chloride to the hot solution of sulfate. Acidic solution prevent other salt formation. Then process carried out at boiling temperature for lower supersaturation. Barium has strong tendency to carry down other salts. Barium chloride, barium nitrate are co-precipitated with barium sulfate. Slow added by barium 2 sulfate solution, lower formation of a barium chloride. So likewise, that this is the example which is to be given in front of you. Now some test, just I want to ask you that which analytical method is based on the weight of the PPT? Is it acid titration? Is it complex aromatic titration? Is it precipitation titration or grammatic? Yes, there is the word used that weight, and weight is directly related with the grammatic analysis. So the answer must be grammatic analysis. Second, which sentence is false about grammatic analysis? Let us see. It is used for inorganic ion. Is it correct? No. It is used to assay the barium sulfate. Is it correct? No. It is used to assay the aluminium, and relative precision is 3 to 4%. So the answer is the relative precision, which is accuracy, it is there, and that is the wrong sentence which is here. So it is used for inorganic ion, it is used to assay the barium sulfate also, it is used to assay of aluminum. So these three are the correct answers, correct sentences, and that's what wrong sentence is. Relative precision 3 to 4%. Actually relative precision is 0.1 to 1%. That's the correct. Okay. Now third, which sentence is true about the grammatic analysis? See one by one. Relative precision 3 to 4%. Is it true? It is expensive method. Is it true? It is not used to barium sulfate assay, and it is used to assay of aluminium. So which is true? Yes, it is expensive method, and that is the correct answer. How many types of grammatic analysis are there? There are 4 types of the grammatic analysis. Out of this, 2 are more important. Now, volatilization method is, what is it? Precipitation of solution, vaporization of solution, both are there, or both of the above? No, it is that precipitation of a solution is nothing but the volatilization method. Now, the precipitation method is precipitation of solution, vaporization of solution, A and B, and both of the above? No, it is a precipitation of a solution. Now, what is rule of oxide in aluminum assay? That is the precipitating agent. Oxide is the precipitating agent which precipitates the aluminum. So this is about that the apparatus which used in a grammatic analysis, the principle of grammatic analysis, the unit which is to be used for it, and for the drying purposes the temperature which is required. So the 5 stages which are important. First of all, dilution to make that 100 ml, then pipette out, that is making that the solution which is in a measured quantity. Third, it is the using of a correct precipitating reagent which removes the interfering radical. Third, it is the digestion. Fourth, it is the nucleation. Fifth, it is the precipitate the correct element by using the precipitating agent. And next, it is the filtration, drying in an oven at 110 degrees centigrade, and then ignite the product correct. It should be in a dry, and then weigh correctly and calculate correctly. So these are the steps one by one. If you go through it, you will get pure form of the compound, and that is nothing but the grammatic analysis. It's quite easy. If you go one by one step by the following correctly, you will get the correct answer. So only the simple precautions we have to take. So at the time of the explanation of grammatic two practicals in front of you, I will explain how to remove the interfering radical as well as how to use the drying utensils or drying methods for yourself. Furnace, how it is to be used, that's it. So thank you very much. Write all these notes in your practical inorganic practical notebook for your purposes, as we will explain, or we will say, or we will notify you that how to write the practicals and where to send it. So that time you will write in a proper manner. We will explain you how to write and how to send. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Thank you.